Let him in, maybe.
Yeah.
One's up to.
Wait, he's just swinging.
Spike planted.
Well done.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Maze, I think.
I don't know.
Oh wow, dude.
The boy still got it, man. Holy. If Tarik were to be called on by Sentinels to fill as a 5th man, would he be able to compete in Tier 1? For those of you who know Tarik has a rich history of competing in the pro scene for Counter-Strike, so you'd think that might be enough. However, it has been quite a few years since his heyday. So how would it look if he tried today? We're going to answer that question today and also give you a few key tips to ranking up in your own ranked games by watching Tarik's gameplay. Let's take a look. Want to get coached? Join this Discord. We have free and paid coaching options. Can't wait to see you there. Enjoy the video. Starting off, as always, we're going to look at both of the comps and give a little bit of a map breakdown on Icebox to see what opportunities Tarik has both with his team and what he can use against the other team with their comp. Very close to a mirror comp here. The one difference here is the chamber, and this could be a big factor as the opposing team on defense could be running 2 ops at certain points if the economy goes in their favor. So this is something that Tarik needs to be very, very aware of and always be on the alert, actively communicating that there could be an op threat. Now, at this level, we should expect that people are going to be able to read into these things before they happen, but it's always good to communicate it at the lower ranks, so always remember to do that in your games. Let's hop in and see how he does this game. Going with the Sheriff buy with the Jet. Very, very ranked oriented here. Being able to use a quick dash to get out of it, use his Sheriff and kind of like ego your way along. There's always a chance that someone can be pushed up on this B main, so we have to be slow and methodical, smartly taking the drone to be able to clear out all these angles. And this is because we had so much aggressive posture towards the middle of the map, and then afterwards we're trying to re-clear much later into the round. So always remember that in lower ranks you need to be re-clearing constantly on Icebox, and that's going to be done effectively with the drone. Now you'll notice that Tarik has popped his dash here, and this is really good for a lot of duelists who are trying to get the most out of Jet and other agents and whatnot. Their primary use for a Jet dash should be to scale onto site. This looks like he's trying to go for a fight here, but the dash being popped here will allow him to actively take yellow, especially off of this dart, which clears everything for him. So now he's able to move up. There's a flank already on. Tarik is not ready for this, obviously. A flank already active, which tells you right away a couple of things. The first thing is that the enemy team is not afraid to be able to start flanking right away. So the Cypher is going to be a big factor for us to be able to control that flank. And if you're playing Cypher in a higher lobby, you must have those trips set up right away. Going for the win here.
He's disrespectful.
It's not looking too good here.
Let me Jen close.
On top of a Jen, on top of Jen.
I'm gonna tag him. Oh, you brick it. Not tagged. Up there.
Still up there, still up there.
There's one too. There's 3 here, 3 here. Yeah, already? I have one, only one. There's like 2 more, 3 more.
With the way the A site is made, it's very, very difficult for an entry duelist to take space without separating himself from the team, being that the wall by default is set up here. So it's one of those things where you have a little bit more freedom when attacking A site using your dash, that going in kind of separates you and doesn't allow you to be traded. So being able to pop it just for like a quick frag and whatnot is totally done, totally doable on this bomb site.
Nice.
I'm baiting. I'm 1 HP. He
I
can
think one's right here. Watch out. Oh shit.
Hold me. Hold backside.
This is such a crazy bomb site to be able to hold. Now, the issue that Tarik has right here is that he's clearly going for fraction now, clearly going for content, as he should be. He's a content creator right now currently. So he's looking for any kind of fight he can possibly get here. Now, the issue that he's got, if you are in his shoes, you're in a really bad spot altogether. First of all, you should have gun advantage on this round, being that you are on your first full buy. Now, the buys are all off and how he bought because he ended up buying a Marshall the second round. So in this situation here, his team should have superior weaponry. And if you look at the situation, we have a 5v4. So really, for those of you who are looking to rank up and make better decisions, you don't want to follow in Tarik's example right here, as this is not a time that you want to be pushing this. And Tarik is well aware of this. So if you think about it, you push into this position, you have to worry about heaven, you have to worry about a back rafter swing, you have to worry about a bottom rafter swing, and then as soon as you expose yourself to CT, like we do right here in a second, you now have to worry about that fight as well. So it's nasty on multiple angles, and you're really not sure where to actively place your crosshair once you're in all these threatening spots. So naturally, Tarik is going to get caught off guard here because of it.
Oh, backside.
No, backside, one more. Screens.
One enemy remaining.
Screens. Nice.
Really what needs to happen here is if you're Tarik, you have to ask yourself through this protocol, DINT, do I need to in this situation? And clearly, for those of you who are looking to rank up, you do not need to in this situation. You do not need to look for a fight.
The judge.
So drop me. Can you guys keep doing the A shit? I'm gonna walk beyond him.
The reason why Tarik is asking for this is he's probably making a small read that they're over-rotating towards A site or over-rotating towards B based on what they're hitting. So if they do the exact same thing towards A, or do the exact same thing towards A, it should pull the rotations over, which allows for Tarik to get a timing. Typically, as an entry, you don't want to be doing this kind of a lurk. However, with the way Icebox is, the dash and the quick entry isn't really totally necessary. You can get away without having an entry duelist altogether.
Like, I don't know. It's not even funny, bro.
Chance of a push-up here. He needs to be careful. So the timing would allow for Tarik to actually get shot in the face there without crosshair placement again, if they decide to push forward. The op is active on the field now, so this is where I was talking about. This could be a threat problem with Chamber and Jet on both sites. So he has caught the timing.
Nice.
And with that kill right there, you have to assume that Snowman and Kitchen are probably clear or very close to being clear, based on what we know. It's hard to be able to tell exactly because we don't have the mini-map active, but right away, boom, we can see there's a Jet active right over there. So I'm assuming there's probably one more boiler, and there's a good chance, and that's why Tarik is ready for this crosshair placement right here.
Oh, shit.
And around this time is when maybe Reyna or Silva would peek here. Reyna towards middle, there it is. Boom, Sova. I was a few seconds behind. So he wasn't ready for that fight, but he was kind of conscious about the fight happening a few seconds prior, so the Sova was just a little bit behind schedule on that one.
Silva should be jail.
How did
He walks the
we know where Silva
rotate.
is.
yeah, he walked it. He expected him to rotate a little bit faster here. So how do you expect or learn to get this timing in your head? Well, it's very, very simple. First of all, everything has cause and effect. So if we're breaking this round down from the beginning, cause and effect is basically if we do something, it's going to have an effect on them in some way. So for example, he says, do the same thing towards A, and that pulls a rotation. This is a read that he had prior rounds. So the cause is we attack A. The effect is the rotation, the natural rotation. Now, for winning any round on attack, you need to get the enemy team moving. If you get them moving, that's when they start making mistakes. They create gaps for you to be able to exploit. So with this, the cause here, attack, and then the effect, rotate. This allows Tarik to now catch a timing on his lurk and be able to take out the Viper who's in this position. Now, naturally, if you think about it, the other thing that you need to always consider for timings is where people are going to be playing across the map. And there's so many different positions that people can play, but typically what you're going to see is something along this lines, usually, right? There will be different versions of this as well. You might have more towards B and whatnot, but typically what you want to do is at the beginning of the round or beginning of the match is get a read on where people are playing. And that will be a baseline, especially for people in lower ranks like Platinum and Diamond and Ascendant, that there won't be much variation between that. And typically you'll see, if there's any variation, just agents switching positions. Like you might see this anchor switching with this anchor, for example. But it's still going to be like a 2-1-2 or some version of that usually. So with that, when you see one player being here, it's going to have a natural response of how long it would take for someone to be rotating to this position or someone to rotate from this position to this position and to be able to get to B. You'll have these timings in your head. We call this mental projection. So we're making educated assumptions as where we think we're going to be taking contact with the enemies that are rotating to attack your bomb site after you hit this lurk. Now, in this situation, because there's someone over here, we have to assume that this anchor player, who is the furthest one left, is playing in a defensive position, because their enemy team, or because the enemy team is rotated heavy towards A to respond to the attack from the forward A push. So they need to play in a spot where they're able to get info, but also to survive. And this is a really good read from Tarik, taking out, it would be in this case Viper, in this position, knowing that it's either going to be this spot or this spot where they're getting info and playing safe on bomb site. So with this fight right here, immediately that gives a tell to Tarik that the enemy team has already rotated over, so we can catch a timing with an updraft and expect that a fight will be coming, usually within this time if they're running, which they normally should be running. So by this point here, he was expecting the fight would happen. But because the fight didn't happen, that person was walking way too much, which he's explaining to us in this particular clip, he now gets caught off guard in a quick switch, which you really shouldn't be quick switching in that situation, and that's what caused the problem here.
Just need to type more. I think that's the issue.
Is he in your head,
Like
actually?
No, I need to type more to get in his head.
He can't. There's no way he's in your head that easily.
No one's in my head, bro. I'm the #1 Minecraft player in the world, bro. I'm in everyone's head.
They're broke.
God. I love my life. I love my life.
All right, hold on. Let me go. Let me go away. Let me just take over. Okay, can you drone and throw a wall after?
He's unintentionally funny.
Hold them up.
Dropping this. Oh, very not lied.
Not up top.
Close range
Could be
clear.
screen. Walla.
He's clear. One screen.
Yeah.
Offside Raptor, still peeking.
Well, okay, so why does he do this? He's crazy.
He's clear.
Jumping up on here and then taking a fight against multiple threats. The one thing that he has going for him is he's scaling off the drone. So the drone is telling him that there's certain angles that are completely clear. One being down here, obviously. All this entire line in front of 410, and also the gen angle. So he knows that the only angles that can fight him are here and here, and this whole spot should be clear unless someone is trolling behind this wall. So naturally your crosshair placement is going to be in this area. Again, 2 angles that he has to worry about. So it makes it a little bit hard. At this point, if you're a Jet player and you see 2 angles and your crosshair placement's off, it's a good habit to just dash away and keep yourself alive at this point. It's too difficult to be able to commit to a fight and have a good result come out of it. And honestly, to his credit here, he does isolate this fight very, very well to force a 1v1, but the crosshair placement's off in such a way that he can't really be able to react fast enough to be able to get the best result that he could out of this
Offside
fight.
Raptor.
Yeah, that's the shot you're hitting on me.
It is a good shot, for sure, but you did give him the opportunity, and you really could have just dashed in this situation.
Brandon.
Brandon!
I hear you, man. Alright, let's go. Flashing, you ready? 3, 2, 1.
I actually love what he does here. Now, this angle here, how often do you guys fight this on belt right away? It is a bad angle to fight. And why is it a bad angle to fight? There's a million places they could be on this bomb site that they can shoot you from. You know, the up-down angle, the sight side angle, the rafter angle. There's so many different spots, the headshot angle. So just smoke it out and then go across either the belt to be able to take a better fight on better angles for you, or you drop down in this pathing like Tarik's doing right here, which is actually pretty good. A lot of people will probably get caught off guard with this particular fight, especially if you're posted up here. So definitely something I'm going to add to my repertoire as well. Much easier to take the fights from angles like this.
Kill him and come back.
Great shots here.
Say welcome to class.
Welcome to my world.
Let me drone.
Yo, up top, bro. What? How does he keep getting past your dart?
Quiet too. Like he's
Fuck,
just
They can flank, bro.
Fuck. It's always so fucked.
I got flank. This is fucked. This is cooked, no?
It's very cooked. Yo, Viper, drop me a bomb.
We should go back. Right? Let's just go back.
Yeah. We gotta do
pushed.
something mid, I think.
Yeah, I'm pinging mid too.
Don't rev up.
So one thing you can do, if you're ever confronted with a Viper ult like this, and you see that your Viper also has ult, you can pop ult on top of the ult. So in this case right here, if you just pop ult on top of the ult, it will end up making that fight equal. You could charge here. The one reason why I don't mind to play like that, first of all, you're in a 4v5, you need to make something happen in order to make this round win. go in your favor. If you pop the ult right here, typically what you're going to see on A site is one player, and it's going to be the Viper, usually in these situations, especially in lower rank. So if you pop the ult right here, the chances of there being another player close by is pretty low, and we can all just run into the ult and then fight that one Viper in that situation. It is a legitimate play that you can use, and you can even out the fight very, very quickly.
Bomb Viper. Actually, I'll plant. You have to ult. Could be yellow.
This is clear. Push right.
Great kill. Now, what you need to do in this situation is continue to hold the line on yellow. So if you're opping on attack, really the key is to be like the queen of the chessboard. You're locking down a particular line and saying, you cannot go here. And that really helps a ton for your riflers to be able to scale up, knowing that this entire area is safe. So let's see how Tarik ends up playing this.
Wake up, buddy.
I can ult that.
Might be yellow, might be yellow.
And here's the aggression. Okay, so the one major thing you always need to remember as an operator is that the Reyna is one of your hardest counters. That Leer is completely detrimental to you and how you hold angles. Because he's moved up here and he's been aggressive, it's kind of cutting off this ability to really take this fight properly, and he's been caught off guard in the situation. He should be dead here.
Yellow.
Does manage to survive and gets trades as well, which is crazy. So the big thing there is just taking in the fact that you really should be holding the line for your teammates. Whenever you're on attack, it's about locking down particular paths to be able to get your rifles into better positions to be able to get better fights, ultimately. So this is kind of what I'm talking about, holding on the lines for the aggressive play.
Yellow.
The dark here clears out yellow, one yellow.
Still yellow.
So now now that both Leers are gone, you can just hold this position right here. So this entire line is covered,
Fuck yellow.
allowing his riflers to now move up.
Nice
Which
shot.
allows them to get that perfect fight. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is like textbook opping on attack. And I get this question a lot, like, how do I op on attack? This is pretty well what you want to be doing. Holding these lines deep, long ranges.
Flank.
Now there is an op active right here, so I'd imagine the op is probably going to be on Snowman, so we have to be very careful with this fight. We don't actually, there it is. We didn't actually need to take that fight at all. We could have just played off of it and waited for that situation, but he ends up getting that kill at 1v1. It's totally fine. And all of his positions that he's taking, he's making assumptions that Snowman's clear. He's assuming that the other player is probably rotating at this point, at this time. Again, with that mental projection, he's got all these times in his head based on how many hours he's really played and seen the situations in the past.
I'll break dark before throwing.
Guess probably holding this. I'm gonna wait.
Wait, no one bought me a gun. No.
You need to be careful of the push-up on... Tube! That's exactly what I was worried about. Oh my god.
Under tube.
So it's just crazy because like he's clearly going for content here, and this is something that you would never do as an operator, is going up this way. It's just so risky, and nobody can trade you. So for anyone who's watched this content, again, you need to ask yourself for positioning UFOs. This is the way that I like to break down if you're in a good position or not. For those of you ranking up, this is not really a good example of what you want to be seeing for UFOs. Now, UFOs is based off these 5 principles, and this will really help you understand if you are in a good position or not for your team. So on or off angles, escape, flash, util, and support. Now, the big thing here is that we always have kind of an embedded escape because we have the dash active here. So we'll give him a check mark on that one. Is he in an on and off angle? I'll say that he's on and off angle right now. The flashing issue definitely is a potential problem, being that you have a Reyna there. So you don't really have a lot of ability to be able to avoid the flashing if you're out exposed in the open like that. Is there anyone who could throw utility for you? Absolutely. Are you prepared to be able to ask for that utility in time to save your ass? Definitely not. And the other big point that we want to think about is who can trade us in the position that we're in. I can't see the minimap, so I'm not sure exactly who is with who, but ultimately it looked like he was going towards the middle by himself. So if you were to get killed here, he's way too far up in too many multi-prongs where there could be threats from boiler, from the bottom of boiler, from pushing through tube, from under tube, that you're putting yourself in a spot that's really, really awkward, very similar to what we saw on round 3 when you jumped up into screens there. So in that situation, you're looking at a 2 out of 5. So if you don't have at least a 2.5, you're in a really bad spot. Now again, Tarik knows this. Tarik is going for content right now, going for frags. He's trying to ego peek Shanks, trying to destroy him, all that good stuff. So he's doing it a lot for fun and entertainment. So it's very important for you as a viewer to differentiate from content through or actual good quality team and ranked play from these content creators. So a lot of really good things to see on his attack side. Obviously his use of the op and how he's been clearing things for his team, holding angles, all that good stuff. A lot of really good fundamentals. Definitely a few mistakes in terms of how aggressive he was, but of course this is a lot of this stuff is intentional here and isn't really indicative of his true ability and skill for if he could actually still play in tier 1 and compete. We'll see what he has on his defense side.
I got it.
That's there. Hidden for like 60.
Great angles here. The second fight, definitely not needed. Again, DINT. A lot of the times when you get this first entry kill, you need to think about all the value. It's like a bag of money, if you will. A bag of money that you have. You've got the bag. You've got the bag. Now take the money and run. Don't go for more. Any more like this is greed. In this situation, he had more than enough time and ability to get out of this fight and not have to deal with anything. On top of that, there's also value of him missing shots as well. So if this chamber ends up missing shots, how many shots does he have? 2 shots already used at that point. You're already taking away one of his major abilities just by getting that value right there. So living here in this situation, more than good enough. And a lot of times we get into this mindset that we need to go for these kills. A lot of times it's because we watch pros like this and think, oh, we're supposed to fight here. But you can just choose to live in that situation, and it's a far better decision overall. Going for the Marshall buy again. Always going for the extra buy. Why not? This Reyna is causing absolute havoc on his ability to snipe. You can see the impact, the level of impact these agents will have on someone trying to do a certain thing. Perfect counters. Well done with the crosshair placement, doing the best he possibly could to make any value there.
Yeah.
We wall up?
Yeah, well.
Could be close.
Wait, let him Viper out. We can let him Viper out, no?
Let him in, maybe.
Yeah.
One's upside.
Wait, he's just swinging.
Spike plant.
Welcome.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Maze, I think.
I don't have ult.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
The boy still got it, man. Holy.
Well,
Enemy kill.
Nice.
I'm late. Nice shot.
I'm still Maze. Oh, they're joining me. I'm getting out.
was done.
Jumped up 80.
Enemy remaining.
Oh my god.
Oh, please, dude.
Spike down.
Tier 1. Oh, nice.
Defenders win.
Yeah, he's cold with it still. But the thing is that enough? Is that enough to be in tier 1? The thing is, the quality of the opponent is nowhere near as high as tier 1. And really, it's ultimately going to be down to this. I think that Tarik could totally compete in tier 1 if he really, really wanted to. The question is, does he want to? With where his stream is at, with how much sponsorship he gets, how much content creation he's doing and making money off of it, it's almost a loss of revenue if you decide to take on all these different tasks with a team, learning how to grow and play on that team, and to be able to perform at the best. I think the cost benefit makes more sense for him to continue being a streamer right now. And he's having a great time doing it. He's clearly having a lot of fun. So the question is, does the right team come around? You know, does Sentinels come out of nowhere and say, hey, Tarik, we need you? It's hard to say if that's ever going to happen. I think it's very unlikely he says yes to it. But could he compete on that level? I think it's definitely possible. He still has all the skills. He still has all the reaction times. He knows what he's doing. But will he fit in that, and will he perform, is ultimately the question. Only time will tell. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.